On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to replace and install a toilet inside of your bathroom. This one, we're going to be replacing it with a much more modern looking with newer mechanics and a lot better features than what we have now. So stay tuned. Welcome to Fix This House. If you're new to the channel, please consider pressing the subscribe and notification bell so you can always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this channel. First thing you need to do is shut off the water supply on the bottom of the tank, flush out the rest of the water inside of the tank, and then you can use a turkey baster, like what I'm using here, or a sponge or any type of rag. Just make sure that you take out that excess water inside of that tank before removing it. So all the tools I use in here, I'll leave it in the description down below. Now take out a basin or any type of container and place it underneath the toilet tank where it meets with the hose. Now disconnect that hose and you're going to have some water spill out of there, so just be very careful. And now that you have this ratchet, make sure that you take that ratchet underneath there and unscrew the tank bolts from underneath. Now you can just easily pop that out of there. The same thing you will do on the other side. Now when you take out these tank bolts, some of them are reusable. Depending on the model that you bought for the newer one, you might be able to reuse this, but sometimes those kits that you get will have a replacement. These are pretty cheap and they come with the replacement kits that you usually get. Now we're taking out the bolts that is connecting your toilet bowl to the floor. So right when you remove the toilet bowl, you're going to expose the wax right there that's attached to the toilet flange. Right there, be careful because now you're going to smell some sewer gases. We're going to take out all that water out of that toilet bowl. Now you can either carry this out and risk spilling this all over your house. That's why we choose to do this. And just drain it all out of there from the toilet bowl. Now place a piece of rag and put it inside of that 3-inch tubing. Now we're gonna scrape out all these wax. Now that's why I really don't like using wax for the toilet flange, because it's so messy and it takes so much time to clean up. That's why we're gonna use a different method this time. After we clean all this up, do your proper cleaning. Again, this is just so messy. I don't recommend using wax ever. If you ever go to this product right here, I'm going to be using a Better Than Wax actually later on, which is by Fluid Master. This one is the Better Than Wax by Fluid Master. I'll leave them in this description, but I like using this because it's so easy to install and very easy for cleanup if you do change it out later on. What we're going to do now, it does come with the bolts, replacement bolts, so you're just going to take out the old ones and then you're just going to easily slip this back onto where the old ones were, and we're going to place that plastic cap screw. I don't know if that's the right term to say, but you're going to do it there to hold it in place. Right when that's done, we're either going to use the spacer if your toilet flange sits below the floor, or if it doesn't, you don't need to use it. But then after, mine sits below, so I'm going to be using it. This is the new toilet that we're going to be replacing our old toilet with. Now this already comes with the flusher and all the mechanicals, and all the parts are already inside the tank. Now the standard is 12 feet away from the wall, so that's pretty good. It meets that standard, so it's 12 feet from the wall. It will work. Once we place it on top, it should sit right on top of those bolts, right where we installed it. We also have the option of taking that toilet rubber gasket and placing it right underneath the tank, and then put it on top and place it over the bolts. Now we're going to be using the caps to cover up these bolts. Now you're going to place that white washer, then put the metal washer, put the nut, and then place this cap over there for aesthetics, and it'll cover all that to make it look good. Now we're going to place the tank. Now I want to show you something about this tank. It comes with a canister flush valve. Look at this. It's a canister type. I really like this. So let's break down the pros and the cons of the canister flush valve. Let's start with the pros first. First, it is efficient, fast flushing. It's easy flushing. It drops instant water to the bowl. It's durable and it lasts longer than your typical flapper. Now let's go with the cons. The cons of this is a little bit, there's only two of them. It's a little expensive and it's not as easy to replace like the flapper. The flapper is super easy to replace. It only takes about a few seconds for the flapper. This one will take you a few minutes. So now let's go with the pros and cons of the flapper flush valve. So start with the pros. First off, it is simple and effective mechanism. It's super cheap. It's only about $3 to $4, and it's super easy to install. I installed this in less than couple of seconds, not even a minute. That's how fast it is. Again, this material is made out of rubber, so it does deteriorate over time. Plus the chain does break easy over time as well, and it doesn't flush water as fast as like the canister does. Place that seal on there for the between the toilet bowl and toilet tank. But this canister is a game changer. And look at what's inside here, that there are no toilet bolts, tank bolts. There are no tank bolts, which is a game changer, because this usually the leaks come from those areas, and now the more modern, the more newer toilets, tanks, and toilet bowls come with these. As you can see right here, all you got to do is place that tank bolt and slide it onto that plate right there. There's no penetration between the tank and the toilet bowl, so you won't risk leaks. So if you try to find a newer toilet, try to find this great feature. I'm going to be using this feature now for all my toilet bowls and toilet tanks in the near future for my home. So this is a truly game changer right here. Plus it's so easy, just slide it in there, place it under on top of your toilet bowl, and then you can just ratchet nice and secure. Don't over tighten it, because you might end up cracking your porcelain. So just make sure that you tighten it just right. Don't over tighten. And again, do that same thing like what you did on the other side. Now we're going to put back the water supply and just attach it to the fill valve right there on the bottom. Screw it hand tight. You don't need to use the channel lock pliers or any type of wrench. Now turn back the water supply on, and you can start hearing everything just starting to fill up just like that, which is totally normal. If you have water coming out of that fill valve, it's perfectly normal. Right when that's starting to fill up, you're gonna see that it's gonna stop filling up the tank right when it hits that float, this is the newer ones. The old ones that we had that floaty floats. This one is just attached to that fill valve already. Right when you flush it, you see how that canister flush valve works. It's just super cool. There's no more flapper, no more having to worry about changing the flapper. All right, so now we're going to install in this seat another great feature, which I'll show you later on. Right when we attach it, there's two bolts. You just open this flap up, place it right against those two holes, put the bolts, and then you're going to tighten it with these plastic nuts underneath. Again, right when you place it in there, it's a self-locking one, so right when you place it and lock it underneath, you actually use your screwdriver or flathead to tighten these up from up above, and then you can close it up. And look at this, you can actually detach this for future cleaning and reattach it and close up those covers. Pretty awesome. And another great feature, it is a quiet close as well. All right, friends, if you found this video helpful, please hit that big thumbs up, subscribe, and notification bell so you can always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this channel. I'll see you on the next one.